Pilgrim caught up with him in no time, shouting, "Fiend, where are you going? Old Monkey's here." Swiftly turning around, the Demon King brought out his scimitar and said with a loud voice, "Pilgrim son, what a rogue you are. I took the throne of another man, but that didn't concern you. Why did you have to be involved in someone's affairs and reveal my secret?" Roaring with laughter, Pilgrim said, "You audacious, lawless fiend. You think you ought to be permitted to be a king. If you recognized Old Monkey, you should have fled at the earliest opportunity to the farthest place. How dare you try to give my master a hard time, asking for that so-called deposition? That deposition I gave you just now, was that accurate or not? Don't run away now. If you're a man, have a taste of Old Monkey's rod." The Demon King stepped aside to dodge the blow before he wielded the scimitar to meet his opponent. The moment their weapons joined, it was a marvelous battle. Truly, the Monkey King is fierce. The Demon King is strong. Rod and scimitar dare each other oppose. This day the three regions are bedimmed by fog. All for a king's restoration to his court. After the two of them fought for a few rounds, the Demon King could no longer withstand the Monkey King, and fled instead back into the city on the way he came. Hurling himself into the 2 rows of civil and military officials before the White Jade Steps, the Demon King gave his body a shake and changed into an exact image of Tripitaka Tang, both of them standing hand in hand before the steps. The great sage arrived and was about to strike with the rod when the fiend said, "Disciple, don't hit me. It's I." Pilgrim turned the rod toward the other Tang monk, who also said, "Disciple, don't hit me. It's I." There were 2 Tang monks exactly alike and most difficult to distinguish. Thinking to himself, "If I kill the monster spirit with 1 blow of the rod, it would be my merit, all right. But what would I do if that blow happens to kill my true master?" Pilgrim had to stop and ask 8 Rules and Sha Monk, "Which is the fiend and which is our master? Point him out to me so that I can strike at him." "You two were yelling and fighting in midair," said 8 Rules. "And when I blinked my eyes, I saw 2 masters the next moment. I don't know who is real and who is false." When Pilgrim heard these words, he made the magic sign with his fingers and recited a spell, which called together the various Deva guardians, the 6 gods of darkness, and the 6 gods of light, the guardians of 5 quarters, the 4 sentinels, the 18 guardians of the faith, the local spirit, and the mountain god of that region. He said to them, "Old Monkey is trying to subdue a monster here, who has changed himself into the likeness of my master. Both their form and substance seem exactly the same, and it's difficult to tell them apart. But you may be able to distinguish them in secret. If so, make my master walk up the steps into the main hall so that I can catch this demon." The fiend, you see, was accomplished in magic. When he heard these words of Pilgrim, he quickly bounded into the Hall of Golden Chimes. Pilgrim raised his rod and brought it down hard on the Tang monk. Alas! If it had not been for desperate efforts of those several deities summoned to this place, the blow would have reduced even 20 Tang monks to meat patties. Fortunately, the various deities managed to block the blow, saying, "Great sage, the fiend knows his magic. He has gone up to the hall first." Pilgrim gave chase at once, and the Demon King ran outside the hall to catch hold of the Tang monk once more in the crowd. After this confusion, they again could not be distinguished. Pilgrim was highly displeased, and when he saw, moreover, that 8 Rules was snickering on one side, he became enraged, saying, "What's the matter with you, stupid coolie? Now you have 2 masters whose calls you must answer and whom you must serve. Are you overjoyed?" Laughing, 8 Rules said, "Elder brother, you say I'm dumb. Well, you're even dumber. If you can't recognize who is the real master, why waste all this energy? You try to endure a little pain on your head for a moment, and ask master to recite that little something of his. Sha Monk and I will each hold on to one of them and listen. That person who does not know how to recite the spell must be the monster. What's so difficult about that? Thank you, brother, said Pilgrim. You've got it. That little something indeed is known only to 3 persons, born of the very mind of our Buddha Tathagata. It was transmitted to the Bodhisattva Guanxin, who then imparted it to my master. There is no other person who has knowledge of it. All right, master, start your recital. In truth, the Tang monk began to recite, but how could the Demon King know what to do? All he could do was mumble something, and 8 rules said, "This one mumbling is the monster." He let go and raised his muckrake to strike at the Demon King, who leapt up and tried to flee, treading the clouds. Dear 8 rules. With a shout, he mounted the clouds also to give chase. Sha monk hurriedly abandoned the Tang monk and brought out his precious staff to do battle. Only then did the Tang monk stop reciting his spell. The great sage Sun, enduring his headache, dragged his iron rod up to midair. Ah, look at this battle. 3 fierce monks have surrounded a brazen demon. The Demon King, you see, was attacked left and right by 8 rules with his rake and Sha monk with his staff. Chuckling to himself, Pilgrim said, "If I go attack him face to face, he will try to escape, as he is already somewhat afraid of me. Let old monkey get up higher and give me a garlic pounding blow from the top down. That'll finish him off." Mounting the auspicious luminosity, the great sage rose to the ninefold heaven, and was about to show his decisive hand when a loud voice came from a petal of colored cloud in the northeast. "Sun Wukong, don't do it." When Pilgrim turned to look, he discovered the Bodhisattva Manjusri. Quickly putting away his rod, he drew near and bowed, saying, "Bodhisattva, where are you going?" "I came," said Manjusri, "to put away this fiend for you." Pilgrim thanked him and said, "I'm greatly obliged." Taking out an imp reflecting mirror from his sleeve, the Bodhisattva aimed it at the fiend, and the image of its original form became visible at once. Pilgrim called 8 rules and Sha monk to come to greet the Bodhisattva, and to look into the mirror. Exceedingly ferocious in appearance, that Demon King had eyes like large goblets of glass, a head like a cooking vat, a body of deep summer green, and 4 paws like autumn's frost, 2 large ears that flipped downward, a tail as long as a broom, green hair full of fighting ardor, red eyes emitting gold beams, rows of flat teeth like jade slabs, round whiskers rearing up like spears. The true form, seen in the mirror, was Manjusri's Lion King. "Bodhisattva," said Pilgrim. "So this is the green-haired lion who serves as your beast of burden. How was it that he had been turned loose, so that he could become a spirit here? Aren't you going to make him submit to you?" "Wukong," said the Bodhisattva. "He was not turned loose. He had been sent by the decree of Buddha to come here." Pilgrim said, "You mean that this beast's becoming a spirit to usurp the throne of a king was a decree of Buddha? If that's the case, old monkey, who is accompanying the Tang monk through all his trials, should have been given several imperial documents." The Bodhisattva said, "You don't know that this king of the Black Rooster Kingdom was dedicated to virtue and to the feeding of monks at first. The Buddha sent me to lead him to return to the West so that he could attain the golden body of an arhat. I could not, of course, reveal myself to him in my true form, and so I changed myself into an ordinary mortal monk to beg some food from him. During our conversation, a few words of mine put him on the spot. Not realizing that I was a good man after all, he tied me up with a rope and sent me into the imperial moat. I soaked in there for 3 days and nights before the 6 gods of darkness rescued me back to the west. Tathagata therefore sent this creature here to push him down the well and have him submerged for 3 years, in order to exact vengeance for my water adversity of 3 days. Thus not even a sup or a bite is not foreordained, and we had to wait for all of you to arrive and achieve this merit. You might have repaid the private grievance of your so-called 1 sup or 1 bite," said Pilgrim. "But who knows how many human beings that fiendish creature has harmed?" "He has not," said the Bodhisattva. In fact, these 3 years after his arrival have seen nothing but winds and rains in season, prosperity for the kingdom, and peace for the inhabitants. Since when has he harmed anyone? Even so, said Pilgrim, those ladies of the 3 palaces did sleep with him and rise with him. His body has defiled many and violated the great human relations countless times. And you say that he has not harmed anyone. The Bodhisattva said, he has not defiled anyone, for he's a gelded lion. When 8 Rules heard this, he walked near and gave the creature a pat, saying with a chuckle, this monster spirit is truly a red nose who doesn't drink. He bears his name in vain. All right, said Pilgrim. Take him away. If the Bodhisattva did not come here himself, I would never have spared his life. Reciting a spell, the Bodhisattva shouted, Beast, how long are you going to wait before you submit to the rite? The Demon King at once changed back to his original form, after which the Bodhisattva released the lotus flower seat to be placed on the back of the lion. He then mounted the lion, who trod on the auspicious luminosity, and left. Aha! He went straight to the Wutai mountain to hear sutras explained before the lotus seat. We do not know finally how the Tang monk and his disciples leave the city. Let's listen to the explanation in the next chapter.